Hello YouTube, this is video 2 for today. I made the video just now about playing the PlayStation 4 and I figured I'd make a video comparing the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 as I played them. So, my opinion so far is that I do like the Xbox One controller overall, but there are certain things about the PlayStation 4 controller that I do prefer. First of all, the PlayStation 4 controller, the thumbsticks feel great on it. They're a softer rubber than the Xbox One controller. They're a lot harder on the Xbox One. They're not a soft rubber. The PlayStation 4, as opposed to the Xbox One, has a softer, very, very grippy rubber, and the PlayStation 4's thumbsticks are no longer concave. And they seem to have maybe moved the thumbsticks farther apart, because if you've ever played a PlayStation 2, you know the pain of rubbing your thumbs together. The reason I like the Xbox One controller more is because it bounces off the Xbox 360 in the sense where the thumbsticks are not next to each other, but instead almost on a diagonal line from each other. The reason I like that is because I have large hands and my hands often hit into each other when I was playing on a PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 1. I never got a PlayStation 3. I've played it, obviously. I do prefer the left stick to be up top as opposed to down below, switched with the D-pad or whatever you wish to call it. I do like the D-pad on the PlayStation 4 more. It's not really like a preference or anything like that. It feels nicer. The Xbox One is nice, but it's still, once again, a cross. It's not individualized buttons, so you do have to rock it around still. The PlayStation 4 you do rock around. You can tell they're all attached on the bottom, but they do have a little more give, whereas you push one, it doesn't pop all the other buttons up automatically. So that's what I like about the PlayStation 4 controller's D-pad as opposed to the Xbox One's. The Xbox One, I do like the triggers better because they aren't as clicky. That's maybe a side point for me. More specifically, I like that they are so... it feels soft to pull the triggers. Like, they're firm, but they're not hard on your fingers when you pull the trigger. It's not like a harsh stop. It's essentially like a cushioned end to your trigger pull. And it feels really nice. The triggers have these nice concave edges that lead your finger onto the top of the trigger. The PlayStation 4 controller is not like PlayStation 3 where they're domed inwards. It's essentially domed out like that now, so the triggers kind of scoop outwards. And they feel nice on the PlayStation 4, and they're more comparable to me to an Xbox 360, which I pull up again. As you see, it kind of scoops outward a little bit. The PlayStation 4 controller seems to scoop out a little more than this does. But I do like the Xbox Ones more because it seems to be more contoured to your hand and the way you hold it. It feels very nice. I don't know the way to describe it. The triggers just feel a lot better to me on an Xbox One controller. I also like the rumbles in the trigger in the Xbox One. I'm a person who turns off rumble in my controller because my hands twitch when I feel like the controller vibrate. But with the little trigger rumbles, it felt very nice. It didn't bother me when I played it because it's not a harsh rumble. You just feel it in your fingers. You don't feel it on them, which is weird. You feel like a deep vibration into the finger itself. I don't know how to describe that, but it feels very nice when the trigger, you know, rumbles because you're driving a car or you're pulling a trigger on a gun and it clicks as you pull the trigger to shoot one bullet, or hold it down and it'll probably, click a bunch of times as you go on full auto for some gunfire for some reason. The triggers just feel better to me on the Xbox One. The PlayStation 4, I do like the way it holds. The Xbox One controller is a little bit bigger than the PlayStation 4 controller. So I'm not really a fan of smaller controllers, but I do like the way the PlayStation 4 holds. The best way I can describe it is it feels balanced. The wedges that stick out that you wrap your palms around are rounded, and the grip on the PlayStation 4 controller I actually prefer than to the Xbox One controller. So that being said, I think I've covered most of the controller specs of it, so I'm just going to get into the hardware itself. The Xbox One and Kinect 2.0 system combination are both bigger than the PlayStation 4 and their iCam. The PlayStation 4 is a decent amount smaller than an Xbox One, and people thought the Xbox One was large or huge, and then they thought it was really small. But it is a decent sized box. It does look like a cable box, and it's not the most beautiful machine. The PlayStation 4 definitely looks a little better aesthetically. The PlayStation 4 seems to have managed its hardware and space inside it better because they did, fully integrate the power brick into the PlayStation 4. They allow you to actually change your hard drive that's internally in the PlayStation 4 as opposed to having to plug in external hard drive on the Xbox One. So there are, key features on the PlayStation 4 that I think the Xbox One should have had and now they can't because they seem like they're copying Sony even more. I do want to say one thing. Apparently Sony's releasing a day one update, as is the Xbox One. The PlayStation 4 has a day one update, and it kind of adds all the features that they were saying came with it in the first place. So it does beg the question, why would they put an update in that has to add all the features they promised would be there from day one? Which means that Sony has a smart marketing team and that the features were not actually there, but they saw how negatively people responded to the Xbox One and decided to shut their goddamn mouths about it until they could say, we're gonna have this. So they're adding it all day one. So they're gonna make the PlayStation 4 into the machine they promised because they hadn't had it that way already, but because they had good crowdsourcing and good information transfer between the developers, the console creators, and the audience, they were actually able to manage their bad PR and not let out that they had the features that the Xbox One did that were so negatively viewed that the PS4 changed them, but no one knew because the PlayStation 4 never said they had them in the first place. It's a little complex, but Sony's a sneaky dickens. Xbox One, the Kinect is a lot larger. The Kinect's like this big. The PlayStation 4's iCam, or whatever you want to call it, iToy, I don't know, I'm going off of PS2 and PS3, is about this big. It's a lot smaller, and they actually undermounted it on a television. You can't do that with the Kinect. The Kinect was sitting on top of a television, though. It looked pretty nice. I am going to have a desk set up, so I don't know if I'm going to go for the Kinect being even on, because I don't know where I'd put it. I'd have to like hang it off my desk in front of my keyboard. I'm really not, feeling one brand more than the other. I could go either way. The fact that I have a Vita kind of, the second screenplay capability of a PlayStation 4 on a Vita seems pretty cool. So, being anywhere in my house and playing a PS4 would be nice. The Xbox One, however, does have probably a better online environment from the start. PlayStation 4 could build it up over time, but Xbox is known for having the best online. Maybe second only to like PC with like Ventrilo and stuff like that. But Xbox Live as a single entity is better than multiple entities on a PC that you have to tie together to get the same features. The Xbox One's gonna have better online probably from the start, like I just said, and that's due to the Xbox 360's 7 years of having great online. So they know what to do. Hopefully they don't fuck it up, and hopefully they don't fuck up achievements, and hopefully Sony can, up their trophy system so it's not hackable, and you get all the trophies in the world. So, thank you guys for watching, and that's my opinion of the Xbox One versus the PlayStation 4 being as I've played them. The Xbox One does look slightly better, but that's because I assume it's full games. The PlayStation 4 seems to have more variety in the amount of games that they play and funner games overall. Killer Instinct's fun to play, but it's not as fun as Octodad Deadliest Catch. It's more of a competitive kind of thing. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed my two videos. They literally just got recorded 10 seconds apart from each other, so sorry for having the same clothes on. My eye is very itchy. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, do whatever the fuck you want. If you want to subscribe, that's cool. I'm going to start doing more YouTube videos with games now that I have my PC and I can actually record games and, upload them and stuff like that. So, maybe I'll do some Battlefield soon. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.